Hi everyone, I am Shan.
And I am Tam. This is the Real Talk Podcast.
On this podcast, we have some candid conversations between us about love, family, faith, relationships, parenting, work-life balance, and everything in between.
We invite you to not only listen, but interact with us and our guests as we have some real
talk.
Welcome back, Shan and Tam fam. You are listening to Real Talk, the podcast. So today we are talking about the power of a woman's words. And we're hoping that we can get your thoughts on this topic. I know people always say women have a lot to say, right? But I think just to kick off our discussion, our words need to be meaningful. And I will choose to believe and to say that usually when we talk, somebody needs to listen. What do you think, Shan?
I definitely agree. I think we can be so impactful as women, right? And our words could lift people up, but it can tear people down.
Words are powerful.
Words are powerful. And once you put it out there, you can't take it back.
I know.
Right? I know you and I have been doing devotions from this book, Tam, The Power of a Woman's Words. And it talks about, how important words are to our children, to our friends, to our spouses, and just people generally around us. And one part of the book also talks about the importance of just being silent, right?
I know. Can I tell you how people are uncomfortable with silence? Some people can be very uncomfortable with silence, and it is necessary. And it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I think I was reading something the other day or listening to something the other day, and they were talking about how difficult it is for you to give like comforting words to people, especially in situations when they're experiencing grieving, right? They've lost someone. And one of the persons made the point that sometimes you just need to not say anything, because
just sit with them.
I know, because it could be that you really do not understand what that person is going through, right? And so in your attempt to help them, you could possibly even make it worse.
And it's interesting you said that, Tom, because I think it was a devotion as well to by Rick Warren. He was talking about that. And he was talking about grief, the same thing you're talking about. And when they lost a loved one, and members from their church, they came, they never spoke. They just came. They slept in the living room. They slept on the couch. They made food for them. And he was like, just their presence alone, how impactful that was. And it's a situation, even when you think about Job. You remember Job, friend?
Yes.
When Job was going through his season, because Job went through a season, and his friends came and sat with him. They never said a word. They never said a word. So as much as how our words are powerful, sometimes the gift of just being silent is powerful as well too.
Yeah, and we have this anecdote that you often hear people say, that if you don't have nothing good, it better you not say nothing at all, right?
Listen to me. May I tell you, say, if me did say everything we're in my head.
I know! People are going to think we're crazy, eh? That's our real talk.
Real talk. Real talk. If me did say everything when me did that thing sometimes, trust me.
I know. I was thinking about that in thinking about us talking about this topic, and I'm like, Father, honestly, if people are everybody will know sometimes the things that go through my head.
I'm telling you.
I've had to and that is a part of checking yourself in terms of even before you speak, right? And realizing how powerful the words are. That sometimes you need to just like give that thought
Pause.
a minute to
Mhm.
marinate and
Mhm.
process it another way
Mhm.
to say, when this comes out, what are the effects of it? What's
But
going to be the effects of that?
But Tom, you know, rationalize all of them things when you're pissed.
No,
When you're angry,
no,
it's just you don't have time to even pause. But
no.
you're right. You have to take a
True.
step back. You
Yeah,
have to
me
take a
admit
step
that.
back.
No, I totally and fully admit that. But
Mhm.
I feel like I've gotten better at it. I feel
Mhm.
like I make more effort at doing that. And especially in a professional sense, you're really, you're
When you
really
want to fly off the email there,
like delete, backspace.
let me
Type
breathe.
again.
Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Let me
Yeah.
walk away for a bit.
No, but
real talk.
even in our personal, like my personal life, I have had to come to a point where I'm like, all right, you might just have ticked me off, but let me just think about this for a minute before we talk, because
Write it out first.
what would Jesus do? Or what would Jesus say?
Real talk.
Real talk. No,
I'm
but
telling you.
in all realness, we really do, as much as we are, human, and we do get angry, and I think it's something that we should strive to do more, because you're right, as those words leave your mouth, there's no taking them back. I saw something recently that was pretty powerful in terms of talking about your words, which I really didn't think of. And it basically said that people see reflections of themselves in your words. And you think about, like you just said, sometimes the things that we say to our kids, how does that shape how they see themselves?
In this book, it says affirming words from moms and dads are like light switches. Speak a word of affirmation at the right moment in a child's life, and it's like lighting up a whole room full of possibilities.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I know. But again, like you said, when you're in the space of being angry or frustrated, it's not easy to do. But I think we need to really challenge ourselves to be more in that space than anywhere else.
Yeah, and now I am conscious too of when I get angry, what comes out of my mouth in terms of even to King, right? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you're angry and you say stuff and you don't necessarily mean it, but you have to process it, because then you want to build them up. You want to speak life into them, and one of the quotes that I always love, it says it's easier to build a strong child than to repair broken men. Right? And not necessarily men alone, but women. It's easier to build them from their young, right? Because when you get older, sometimes the repair that you have to do, it's so tough. To speak life into them early, encourage them, right? The words of affirmation. And as much as all the emotions and stuff are there, as you said, Tam, sometimes you just have to pause and breathe and give yourself that space before the words actually come out.
And I remember the other day we had a conversation about even the whole parenting issue, and I was saying that I've encountered situations with my kids where they've really upset me and they've really hurt me, and I had to pull myself back and say, all right, like, what am I going to say in this moment that is going to be a teaching point for this kid? Because if I were to fly off the handle and just say everything will come to my mind, or what I want to say out of the anger, it likely will be breeding some negativity into that kid, feelings, and it's not a good situation all around, right?
No, I hear you, Tam.
And when
I
you
hear
think
you.
about affirmations, you brought up affirmations. We do affirmations for ourselves, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
how does it make you feel when you do an affirmation, when you say an affirmation? That is really breathing life and energy into you and breathing like possibility and
Listen to
knowing
me,
that
man.
you
It
can
make you feel good. It make you feel like you can walk on
conquer the
air.
world.
Yeah, you make you feel good. And just this week, King going back to school, because I used to do it. I was like, I'm gonna start back. I started writing notes into his lunch kits.
Oh, that's cute.
Right? Yes. So on Monday, I wrote him a note. You got this. You can do it. You're a star. So now every day, I look forward for the notes.
You better keep writing.
God, every day, and he takes the notes and now I post them on the door in his room.
That's awesome.
Right? So, and it don't have to be anything big. Like Friday, I say happy Friday, be kind, have a great day, love mom. Right? You're a star, you're a light, know who you are. Just even a one word thing and just the smile. Even his teacher said he looked forward to the notes now. Because he fits with King. So now he's looking forward to that every day. But the simple things, just a simple word. Because just as how we want to hear good things, they
about
also
us.
want to hear it too.
Yeah.
Right? They also want to hear it too. And it's interesting, Tam, this book that we're reading, there's this chapter that talks about the simple words of kindness. And I'm going to read some of these things to you and just show you how powerful. It says compliment service workers. Tam, listen to me. When I'm working in the office and the people in that clean, me talk to them.
Yeah.
Me greet them because how are you? You're doing such a great job. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I know you have the same relationship with some of them.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, I absolutely do. Because sometimes people don't feel themselves valued just because of what they do.
Because they're cleaning.
And I always say that you are not your job.
That's my thing.
Yeah. You are a person first. And I wish and that's one of the biggest pet peeves for me sometimes, even in my profession, being in my professional space, that people see me as my position. And I absolutely hate that.
You're a person too.
You're a person.
You're a human being.
Yeah.
Right? Compliment service workers. Show interest and concern when someone appears to be having a bad day. Right? Find something positive to say to the cashier at the checkout line. You know how much woman may tell, oh, you look so beautiful today.
Can I tell you? Yes,
you look wonderful. I love that smile. No, sometimes King was like, Mom,
why are you talking to these people? I don't know them. Yeah, I know, I do it.
Beautiful. I compliment the cashiers. I compliment them, Tam. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of being mean? I'm always doing it. Right?
I know.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
When you see an embarrassed young mother with a child acting up, encourage her with kind words such as, you're doing a great job, or mine did the same thing when he was little.
Did we not talk about that in our parenting episode?
Okay.
Shame. How we used to judge people.
And if somebody did say to me, say, listen, I have been there. You just feel like you can.
You feel validated. Exactly. Like you feel like, again, you're not alone, right?
Yeah. So those are some of the simple words of kindness, Tam, right? And the list goes on. And those are simple things that we can do in our day-to-day life.
I feel like before you even get to the words, it has to be a thought. Like it has to be something that either you consciously or unconsciously do, and that can come consciously from your thought, or it could just be birthed out of your character and who you are inside as a person. Like
some people just mean spirit. Real talk.
real
Real
talk.
talk. Some people are just mean spirit. No,
Right?
them just mean spirit. It's like them always have a bad day.
I know. I know.
It's like them always having a bad day. So it comes a lot from character as well too.
It does. And I think about it, your character is built from like your experiences, right? And
Exactly.
So it's like one thing that interconnects into the other.
Exactly.
But I feel like we have to, because the thoughts give birth to the words, and then that gives birth to the actions. We have to be conscious about the thoughts that we have before we speak.
We say it. I agree.
And it's not always easy, because we talk about being in the moment and being angry or frustrated, and really you want to say what you feel. But I do think that there are ways of getting
how you say it.
Exactly. You can still get the message across that you're angry or you're frustrated, but it's in the words that you use, right?
I agree.
We have to be, and you always like to say this, that you have to be intentional, right? With your thoughts, and then in effect your words. Taming the tongue is an exercise.
God, the tongue is powerful.
And I feel like we have to start small when you're trying to, especially if you realize that that's not like you're somebody. Okay, so people always justify, that's just who I am. It's not okay.
No, you
right?
need to change. You need to start, as I said, de-chakalize your thing.
You're the first man in the ear with the word,
De-chaka. Oh my God, people are gonna like, what are
no, I don't know what is wrong with these people. Or we would say, wheel and come again.
Oh my God, exactly.
Okay,
Man.
but start small.
Yeah,
I think with being self-reflective. And here's the other thing too. I'm like, if you're gonna say something to somebody, think about if somebody said that to you.
Yeah.
How you going to feel? And maybe that will, cause you to pause, to rethink, and to reframe, and to and to state, right? Yeah, how if you hear what you're about to say, if somebody was telling that to you, how you would have feel about that?
Real talk.
Real talk.
This one old Greek proverb that says, God gave us teeth to hold back our tongue. Mercy. This one is powerful. Yeah, God gave us teeth to hold back our tongue. Same thing as you said, to tame the tongue.
Yeah, tame the tongue.
The harm that the words can do, sometimes it takes so long to rebuild.
I know.
Right? So, there's so much we can say about this, but I think one of the things we want the listeners to take away is just listen. Your words can be so powerful.
Yeah.
Right? And the words that you tell someone can either bring them up or let them down. So choose your words wisely. Your words wisely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great note for us to end on. And we're hoping that as our listeners, listen to our episodes, that they're finding value in our conversations. And really, these are free-flowing, just ordinary, everyday conversations that Shan and I are having with each other. It's like we said, it's just an insight into some of the things that we talk about.
Exactly.
And we have too much to talk about sometimes.
I know.
We have a whole lot more to talk about, so we hope that you guys will tune in again for some more real talk. And we look forward to seeing your comments, for you to be sharing the podcast, liking it, and visiting us on our social media pages, YouTube. Just drop us a comment. Let us know how you're enjoying the podcast. If you have any ideas about any topics, or give us your thoughts on the topic that we discussed. We'll see you again next time, fam, on Real Talk. Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Follow them now on Facebook at Real Talk with Shan and Tam. Also, visit their social media and blog pages on Instagram, Sisters Shan and Tam, and their blog page www.shanandtam.blogspot.com.